to get things started, we would like to welcome our defending champion, Brian Gage, to the virtual media room here at the Butterfield Bermuda Championship. Welcome back.
Hi, thank you. It's great to be back.
Yeah, so now that you're here on the course, what are some specific memories that you have of being here at the tournament? This is your third time. Any specific memories flood to your mind?
I guess obviously the one that stands out the most is the shot on 18, the last hole of the tournament last year. Would probably be the biggest memory for me, and then winning the playoff. But the shot on 18 to tap in to get me in that playoff is probably the biggest memory.
And I understand you had kind of took a little while with some travel issues to get here. Glad you were finally here safely, but if you want to expand on that.
Yeah, we were flying through Charlotte Monday and got to the gate, and they wouldn't let him. I don't know, 10 or 15 of us on. They said the plane was too heavy, wasn't big enough, and they need enough fuel to fly all the way to Bermuda and back to Philly or somewhere in case they can't land here. So they left some people behind. We had to wait another day to catch the next flight over here. So we finally made it yesterday evening.
Glad that worked out. What is it about this course that fits your style of game? With your first appearance here, getting a top 3, and then last year, of course, winning it. What is it about this course that just feels comfortable? Yeah,
I think it's a combination of, the weather, not too dissimilar from Florida. I don't mind the wind. I grew up on Bermuda grass, which the whole course is Bermuda here. It's not necessarily it's not a bomber's course. You don't have to hit it far. There's plenty of birdie opportunities, and just kind of stay out of trouble on a few holes where you got to be careful, and there's plenty of birdie chances out there without, you don't need a lot of length to play well here.
I've already had a couple starts this season. How does your game feel entering this week?
Well, oddly enough, it's the longest I've gone without hitting a ball before a tournament. Hopefully I'm going to get to hit a few here this afternoon since they opened up for us. It's been quite a few days, so I'm going to try to shake a little rust, and we'll see. Go out tomorrow morning to start, so it's windy. I'll just try to shake a little rust and loosen up today and go from there.
Since you mentioned longest time off, with the WD from Shriners, how long has it been since you've been able to really get out on the course and practice?
I was practicing some at home. Just we had some bad weather in Orlando the day before I left, and then 2 days to get here. I tried to go look for somewhere to hit balls Monday afternoon, and didn't have any luck there in Charlotte. And so it's been 4 or 5 days since I've hit a ball, which is not obviously normal before starting a tournament round.
And with the weather and different conditions we've been experiencing today, how do you think that will come into play this week with the wind, and how this course is one of the shorter courses on tour?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember getting a bunch of rain, so I don't know about if it's... The course usually plays pretty dry and the ball runs out here. I don't know how wet it'll be, so didn't get to see the course at all. The wind is, we had a couple real windy days last year. I think it's maybe... I remember last year it blowing quite a few different directions during the tournament, and looks to me like it's not going to blow the direction that it did, I know, on Sunday last year. So it will be a little bit different strategy, I think, off some different clubs off some tees with the kind of opposite wind.
Circling back to capturing the wind, how much did it mean to get this win after having your 5th win, after having kind of such a gap in years between getting your win? Did it give you a boost in confidence for your game?
Yeah, it was, it'd been a little over 7 years, I guess. And then in that time, I'd been out with 2 surgeries for a year and a half, kind of 14, 15. And I guess it was kind of sort of a third chapter. It was out here for a while, got my first win, got a couple more after that, then the injuries and out, and then kind of the comeback after that. And then the win was kind of a bonus, kind of a late career bonus win, if you will. But it was exciting. little unexpected. I felt like my game was getting better coming here, and I had the good feelings from the year before finishing third. So I think that helped with the confidence of coming back to a place that I liked.
And how important is it to get these starts and do well in the fall that sets you up? With last season finishing 95 in the FedEx Cup, does it put kind of a little sense of pressure to perform well here in the fall?
I'd like to think not. It is good to get off to a good start in the fall. Kind of get a little bit not ahead of the game, but it's better to come out, in January already being up there on the board with some good points and everything, and have a good feeling starting, in Hawaii, and not feel like you're starting from zero. So the fall, there's some good tournaments for me in the fall. Mayakoba that I've won, and I like Sea Island, so there's some good events coming up.
Thank you. With that, we're going to go over to Kendall Trott with BBC.
I understand that there have been some delays, whether it's due to travel or weather difficulties. How do you stay focused and keep your head in the game?
Good question. Well, I haven't even been out here to get my head in the game, so I guess I try to get in that mode a little bit this afternoon with a little bit of practice. Try to, get my head on straight about what I want to do when I come out tomorrow morning to start the tournament. So it's a little different in that sense, since I haven't really had any preparation for this event, which is kind of different for everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Now over to Kim Swan with Live Bermuda.
Good afternoon, Mr. Brian Gay. How are you? Welcome to Bermuda.
Thank you.
I couldn't help but looking at your bio to really smile and see that you have two connections that caught my eye. That you spent time down at Fort Rucker, and I'm a Troy boy, and I was just wondering if you could tell me anything significant about your golf experience down there on that military golf course that we used to play from time to time.
Yeah, so my dad was in the Army, and we lived at Fort Rucker from, I was there 5th grade through high school, pretty much every day. That's where I grew up playing, practicing with my dad and a bunch of the people there at Fort Rucker. And oddly enough, they had a great practice area where you could shag your own balls, and it was a good experience for me to learn to play and grow there as a player. And so yeah, I was an Army brat, was there for, like I said, about 8 years.
All right, wonderful. And then I couldn't help but notice that you have an outstanding career with Buddy Alexander down there in Florida, playing the pasture. I guess many days I spent a little time going through University of Florida with my roommate Kenny Green back in the day from JUCO days. Tell me what it's like to have the legacy of being one of those great Gators that have produced so many outstanding players over the years.
Yeah, it was great. I had a great time at University of Florida. Like you mentioned, Buddy was the reason I went there. I grew up a huge Georgia Bulldog and was looking to go there, and Florida was my last visit, and decided to go there and play for Buddy with the experience he had as a player and winning the U.S. Amateur. I thought that would help me the most to play for Buddy there. And we had a great run, won the conference all 4 years, and won the NCAA my junior year, so it was a great time.
What advice, thank you for that, what advice would you give any young golfer aspiring to play professional golf that's looking at college? How important it is for them to make that connection with a person like Buddy Alexander, who is indeed, you're correct, an outstanding player in his own right, but then has nurtured many players. At Georgia Southern, I believe he was first and before he went to Florida.
Yes, it's quite a bit different now than when I was coming up through college. Guys are turning pro earlier, players are maturing much more early. Some of them may not even go to college or just play a year or two. And they all kind of have their teams put together before that even, in high school. They've got all their trainers and teachers and their whole team put together. It wasn't like that. Virtually everyone played all 4 years of college back when I was there. Even Justin Leonard and Phil Mickelson, guys weren't turning pro as early as they do now. So I think it's changed quite a bit.
I have one final question for you, if I can. Knowing that you played a lot of golf down there in southeastern Alabama, like I did, I found the transition there very similar, being that the topography and the hilliness were in play. How are you finding, like our course, Port Royal, in fact, which we're celebrating our 50th anniversary? How are you finding our course and transitioning to it?
It's not too difficult. Like I said, I've said it before, that it's all Bermuda grass, which is what I grew up on, which I like. I'm comfortable with. I love Bermuda greens. And obviously I've played in a lot of wind. It gets windy in Florida sometimes, so I just feel comfortable on it. Mostly the grass, and it's like I said, it's not a long golf course. You don't have to be too. It's more about position and playing, being able to handle the wind, getting in the right spots and make some birdies.
Well, thank you, and good luck for you this week. We'll be rooting for you as well.
Thank you.
One final question before we wrap things up. Again, with your win here that you captured last year, you were able to go back to the Masters in the spring. Can you just give me some general thoughts about that experience?
Yeah, it was great to go back after it had been a while. It was cool. I got a lot of family in that area. My dad actually lives up there now. My mom's family's from close to there, so got to see a lot of people, and it was really cool to go back again. Hopefully it won't be the last time.
Perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us, and we wish you the best of luck this week.
Thank you.